Welcome back to Tech Vibe, where we cut through rumors and hype to see what really might be coming. Today, we're diving into what we think we know about the upcoming Apple TV, release timing, possible price drops, feature upgrades, and what could make it a must-own box rather than just another streaming device. Let me drop a hook. What if Apple finally brings Apple Intelligence to your living room? Combine that with a price cut and upgraded internals, and the next Apple TV could be more than a media box. It might be a smart home hub you didn't know you needed. Right now, the buzz is that Apple is prepping a refresh by late 2025. The current Apple TV 4K model has stayed on the shelves since 2022, and that gap is long enough for a meaningful update. Multiple sources hint that Apple plans to launch the new model toward the end of this year, likely in October, but November is also on the table. The company often targets fall for new hardware drops, and this feels like a fall play. Some rumors even point to an October event or leak window for Apple to unveil or announce quietly. One of the most intriguing whispers is around pricing. Apple has traditionally kept Apple TV operating in a premium niche, but the pressure from low-cost streaming sticks and devices might push them lower. Analysts suggest Apple could aim for a sub-$100 price point for the base model to compete more aggressively. That would mark a substantial drop compared to current Apple TV 4K pricing, positioning it as a more accessible device. Beyond simply lowering, Apple might also continue selling older units as light options, further segmenting the lineup. So, what kind of upgrades are expected? First and foremost, the processor. The current model runs on the A15 chip, which is aging in this context. The next Apple TV is rumored to use the A17 Pro, borrowed from Apple's high-end mobile hardware lines. That bump would bring potentially 15 to 30% performance gains in both CPU and GPU tasks. Paired with more RAM, possibly 8 GB, that gives room for heavier apps, better gaming, and smoother multitasking. Along with that, we're hearing Apple may integrate its own networking chip, often referred to in reports as the N1, or a custom Wi-Fi/Bluetooth chip. This would likely bring support for Wi-Fi 7, lower latency, stronger wireless performance, and more efficient connectivity. Combine that with better throughput, and Apple TV could stream, game, or mirror content with fewer hiccups, especially in crowded Wi-Fi environments. One of the most exciting expected features is Apple Intelligence on tvOS. If the new Apple TV becomes smart enough to suggest content, answer questions, or even animate parts of the interface based on context, it could shift how we think about streaming boxes. Imagine asking the TV for movies like this and getting instant curated picks, or having Siri on the Apple TV be more conversational and aware across your devices. There are also rumors of a new version of Siri for Apple TV, arriving in 2026, with deeper integration and smarter responses. Media and gaming might see upgrades, too. Because of the A17 Pro's stronger GPU, the box might support more advanced graphics, better HDR performance, and faster processing for effects or real-time rendering. Ray tracing becomes more viable with such a chip, which could level up games and visually rich apps. Apple might also expand support for high-quality streaming codecs or more aggressive spatial audio or video features. On the software side, we know tvOS 26 is being pushed as a major refresh. It introduces a liquid glass interface, updated visuals, better recommendations, and deeper personality in the system. Apple is also upgrading FaceTime support, user profile features, and tighter integration across Apple's ecosystem. Some of those features will depend on hardware, so a new Apple TV would unlock more of what tvOS 26 promises. Another speculative but compelling idea, a built-in camera, or gesture controls. Stories have floated that Apple considered adding a camera to Apple TV devices for FaceTime, video chat, or motion controls. Whether that will make it into the next model is unclear, but if Apple pushes a more living room interactive experience, it's a possibility. Gesture control could let you navigate without the remote, wave your hand, move left, swipe in the air, if sensor arrays and software support it. From a user experience standpoint, the remote may also get tweaks. Apple has refined the Siri remote over time. Expect minimal redesign but possibly more tactile controls, lower latency, more responsive navigation, or improved haptics. If Apple wants to lean into the living room as a smart space, the remote needs to feel seamless. One major challenge: heat and power. Upgrading the chip, adding networking features, and enabling heavier software functions will push thermal and power demands. Apple will likely improve the cooling system internally, but that's always a balancing act in a compact box. Efficiency gains in the A17 Pro and in system design will play a big role in whether the new Apple TV runs quietly and reliably. Another hook: global rollout may be staggered. Just because Apple reveals it in October doesn't mean every region sees it at once. Some countries may wait weeks or months due to certification, supply chain logistics, or regional licensing. Your local market may not get it immediately, so keep that in mind if you're planning to upgrade. It's also worth noting that the current Apple TV lineup will likely remain relevant. Apple may keep older models as budget or gateway options and reduce their price further. That means you could see deals or discounts on the 2022 model once the new one arrives. That's part of how Apple competes, by shifting its prior hardware downward in pricing to make the new models look more premium by comparison. So, who should wait and who should buy now? If your current Apple TV is lagging, missing features from newer tvOS versions, or struggling with streaming performance, waiting for the next version may pay off, especially if the price drops and hardware gets a meaningful boost. But if you already have a recent model and it works well, the new one may feel like a luxury upgrade rather than a necessity. At the end of the day, the upcoming Apple TV could mark a turning point in how streaming boxes function, not just as media players, but as smarter hubs within the smart home. If Apple nails performance, connectivity, interface, and price, this could be one of their more impactful updates in recent years. So what do you think? Are you waiting for the next Apple TV? Which rumored upgrade excites you most? Price drop, Apple Intelligence, Wi-Fi 7, or maybe a camera? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for tuning in to Tech Vibe. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay tuned. When Apple officially announces it, we'll be first with hands-on insights. Catch you in the next one.